But is there anything good in it? Help me. Help me. Is there anything good in it? I mean,
yeah,
does it
love.
value?
Yes.
Hello?
There's something. Esther.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, I want us to look at the story of Esther. We've talked about Esther. Let me ask you a question. How did Esther come to the scene?
Oh, Henny, you know, when or disrespecting and Esther Bay.
The king's wife. Onye mbenyimfo no work and disrespect to. It means you have no work and disrespect CCR. The king's wife disrespected him. How did she disrespect the king?
What friend on but so no son that.
So a friend of mine, then I want us to look at the context well.
No, hen when you're ho. No, a friend on brother. The most beautiful.
Good. A friend there, she was called the Onfana who Fembra. Esther chapter when? Esther chapter 1. Verse where? Esther chapter 1. Let's read from verse. Can I have somebody read from verse 13? Can somebody read from verse 13 for me? Okay, from verse 10. Esther chapter 1 from verse 10 to 12. Can somebody read for us?
Esther chapter 1 verse 10. On the 7th day of the feast, when King, I can't pronounce it, sorry, Xerxes was in a high spirit because of the wine, he told the 7 eunuchs who attended him, Memucan, Bethsa, Habona, Bigtha, Abagtha, Zetha, and is it women? Carcass. To bring Queen Vashti to him with the royal crown on her head. He wanted the nobles and all the other men to gaze on her beauty. He wanted the nobles and all the other men to gaze on her beauty, for she was a very beautiful woman.
But let's leave it here. We have 3 men on the line. Mr. Mills, is Mr. Mills here?
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Mills and Sammy and Kiki. When your man is fine, when your lady is fine, what do you like to do?
Show off.
Yeah, Auntie Joyce. Allow us to say our thing.
Like when you sell telling wife,
Baby, any say obeko. Then you are pointing fingers. Mr. Mills, what do we do with fine ladies?
Oh, as for them, they reflect them.
We flex them. I like Mr. Mills' statement. Mr. Mills, please explain what in a disco parlance we mean flex. Yes.
So what we mean by, we flex them is it's almost as if they are like a jewel for you, and you want everyone to see that that person is yours, basically.
Mm.
Right?
So when a woman smells good, looks good, the man takes pride, not just for private show, but they want to show off. This lady be my own. This is my trophy. One of the biggest challenges we have in the Christian world today is that we label people who dress good. We label people who carry themselves well. It is not a sin to dress up very well. It is not.
Amen. Amen.
Mr. Mills, the way I can amen, not that I know your show.
Well, I grew up knowing some deeper life people, and it's almost as if they were really trying to dress like they were homeless.
Leslie.
Evelyn, your brother is on. Today, my intention was to let people know. I'm sure you want about life that down, but for you to add ink to it. You see, when you read the story of Esther, the queen was so fine when he refused to attend to the king, Wujan. One way for you to continue holding your man is beauty and cleanliness. Even when they leave and they see how beautiful you continue to look, they continue to look back. True or false?
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
Even the most audacious one, the tongue-talking, fire-spitting Christian,
But I
hello?
think I want to say something.
Yes, Mr. Mills.
I'm not sure what pastor, a very famous pastor once said that we shouldn't marry for beauty, we should marry for character and whatnot. And someone made sort of like a slideshow of all the big pastors and their wives.
Yeah.
And they seem to all be, fair skinned, light skinned ladies. So the conclusion was that we shouldn't mind them. Don't go and pick any ugly lady because they will never pick ugly ladies.
So most of us, our argument begins from where what King Solomon said. Beauty is fleeting. But he was saying it in relative terms. Don't just pick beauty alone. Add the inner beauty, like Paul would say. But today I am saying that beauty can be taught. Anameboa. See, beyond your character, if you don't take time, you will become the house help in your own house. Beyond your fine character. But beauty can be taught. When Queen Esther was to be made a queen, the maidens were gathered together, were collected from the length and breadth of this king's domain. And they were groomed for how many days? Obi Mohammed. How many days were they groomed?
Was it 6 months?
6 months and 6 months. Second, Esther chapter 2. Let's continue from verse 12. Esther chapter 2 from verse 12.
Okay. Esther 2:12. Now, when every maid's turn was come to go into King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months, according to the manner of the women, for so were the days of their purifications accomplished, to wit, 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors, and with other things for the purifying of the women. Continue.
Yes, I'm here. 1 full year, 365 plus days. How to walk gracefully, how to mix perfumes, how to do makeup. The question I ask is this: is the young Christian of today who is praying, my husband is chasing after girls, does she have time after prayer to make up?
Duku.
Duku crampo, some people wear it with swag. And I'm a boy. Why is the Osofo talking like this? It is important. See, there's a time for everything. When it was time for Esther to fast, they put on the sackcloth, they put ashes on themselves. But when it was time for her to meet the king, what did she do? She goes to make herself up. Beauty can be learned. And now you see I'm off a cry tone with jom. And I'm a boy.
Nampa.
And then Obabia ni one who time. The only one who is not nice is the one who does not carry her beauty well. And what for your tone with jom. It is learned. Your tongue. And who see your tongue. Somebody say, Father, I didn't know when you can we a Christopher, and I'm sure our friends on Facebook would like and would join and will share with us this discussion. And what fair it can be bought. Emma, there are some things that we have demonized. Some of them have been materialized. But it doesn't mean I am not talking about extravagance. Me can't de bro so traso. Me can't say I'm off a year. A lady out here brutally o perfume cry do say. Hello?
Aye.
You are trying to attract a man or you are trying to hold on to your man. Your secret. Every woman, I believe, should have a secret room where they do two things. Where they pray, your war room, and where you groom. It is important. It can be in a small corner where you pray, where you war. When you finish warring, you should come out gracefully. Do we have Wesley Girls people on the line? I know of man's site. I know of site, but I'm talking about Wesley Girls of all. There's a school in Ghana called Wesley Girls. We used to laugh at them that even when they go to school, they are taught how to walk. Is it true? Sammy, I want to charge you. They are even taught how to wave. Oh, Sammy, your thing is failing you. I was here for, do you have any comments or any questions or any comments? And you've not talked about the men. We'll talk about the men. Any comments or any questions? And we'll continue. I'll continue with my ahunidie. Any comments, any questions, please? There is. Yeah, Sammy, please come in. Sammy, come in, please. Oh, Sammy, okay, say Oba no. Our friends on Facebook, please share the link and let's connect with other people, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true.
Yeah, Sammy, type
It's
and
very true.
Sammy, type and
Kind
we'll
of
read.
things you need to put on, or I mean, they make kind of big up you need to. I
Sammy, please.
remember when
Yeah, go ahead, please. Okay, so I want to ask a question. Men, women, when women dress up, I have heard more often than not that women dress up for themselves. Is it true? Oh, I am dressing up for myself. Is it really true?
Yeah.
I don't believe that's one bit.
Somebody says doesn't believe.
Are you sure?
Not everybody. Not everybody.
Yeah. But
I dress for myself.
Most men dress for themselves, which is good.
Not one.
Yeah, Mr. Mills, yeah? Or do I have Stella on the floor?
I think probably I think.
Hello? That's the cutting seat. Yeah, please. I was listening to your thing was breaking. I don't know whether it's me or.
It's back now.
Oh, okay. So we are listening, sir.
I think that primarily we sort of try to put our best foot forward to attract the best mate. Right.
And when you have the best mate, what do you do?
Well, I mean, if you have the best mate, in the wild, you still have to compete with other, in some species, you still have to keep competing. Otherwise, your mate will be taken away.
I actually asked that question not because I wanted to know whether women dress for themselves, but the reality on the ground is that beauty attracts. The reality on the ground is that cleanliness attracts. Anybody who feels good in themselves, they attract other people. Anyone who feels really, really good, who's dressed fine, shows off. I'm not saying shows off the expensive stuff, but what they have. Anyone who shows off what they have attracts. Including men. And I may say, women, do you really take into consideration men who dress fine and dress good and all that?
Yes and no.
Okay. Now you complicate the matter for me. The same person is saying yes and no. Please, can you clear the air?
So yes, you might have to help me out here. Yes, but
I think I'm a lawyer.
yes, but well, personally, I realized that Obimano, he's dressing us to kind of show off or in like a competitive way against other men or people in general, then it becomes a turn off. So yeah, they dress well, but they have humility about it. Then they look sexy and attractive, but not like I want to dress up so everyone knows I have the most expensive suit. And I can tell the attitude sometimes from a man.
But Kiki, you muted yourself.
Please tell us more. How can you tell women are wonderful, eh? And so we'll be glad to know. How can you tell a man's makeup? How can you tell a man's attitude from their dressing, from their putting on?
It's the style which matriaso, or you don't see where I'm coming from.
Oh no, I see where you're coming from. Like I think you guys have already said, when you see somebody who have dressed, there's a humility, and somebody who have dressed and they are show off. It comes off very easily, and you can catch it. You can see it very easily. Even how they communicate with you, the first interaction with them, you can tell whether they want to show off or they are coming with humility.
So yeah, Evelyn, please go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna add that usually those who want to show off, they might have the attitude of also competing when it comes to the kind of car they dress, or like an obsession with their cars being really shiny, or it's strange, but you can tell. Even like at the park, it's like, sometimes in the summer as a woman, if you're walking or standing at a bus stop and you see, nice cars are driving by, you can sometimes look and, gauge and say, obey my ways, he's hot or whatever. But every so often there's the one person, they just have to push their gas really loud. So it's like, oh, here I am. And when it comes to the dressing, when a man walks into a room or in a space, let's say church or a party, and it's like they're walking around, they want everyone to talk to them. And then they give you a look. And then that's usually when I start thinking, oh boy, I don't care. Like, I'm not even going to look your way. So then you just ignore them. And men like that too, I find sometimes, well, what I have encountered, so then they almost want to come back and try to tell you, we are picking wrong choice.
Oh, okay.
And that's another indication where I can tell like the competitiveness that is not healthy.
Well, sometimes, unfortunately for women, men have different ways of thinking. All men mark their territories.
Yes. I wanted to say something as well.
Please come in. Sammy, you will come in and I'll read your thing. Yes.
I wanted to say that men compete with each other over mates, right? it's nature. That's how it is. And
Obvious.
I can understand that. You do see these traits. It's what we in very colloquial terms they call peacocking, right? And it's from the behavior that is observed in peacocks, where it's kind of like they fan out their feathers. They're very colorful feathers, and they kind of give these like uh very strange dance rituals in order to attract the mate. And I would say it's nature in itself. But I do have a question. How do you differentiate between someone who is like probably for lack of a better term, cocky versus someone who is confident? Do you kind of see a distinction there, or do you think that a confident man is a cocky man, basically? And this question is for Evelyn.
Yeah. For everyone, not just Evelyn. A cocky man and a confident man. Is there a distinction? Can you find the distinction clearly? Obama waya hantain any Obama watching hoodie. Can you clearly see it? Sammy, please, you will come in. I want to read your statement and I want to. Yeah.
So, I guess, yeah,
Okay.
for me personally, I can tell. So, I don't know. I can give an example. I don't know if it would make sense. So, I love men who I can converse with intellectually, right? So, say at a workplace, usually the men have to wear suits. But there's always, once in a while, you see the man who he's dressed as well as every other man, and intellectually, or his knowledge of how to do the job, it's pretty high up there. And I can tell the difference with the cocky. Like the cocky ones are usually like, they just have to be noticed in a room, right? They you know that they are smart. They know that they are smart, but they can't almost be quiet ever to hear and to learn something new. Whereas the ones with humility, let's say if it's in a boardroom, they all dress nicely. But then you spot the one man who is also really smart, but they're not talking too much, right? And the humble ones, I would say, like in politics, I always say this guy is hot and he's also the danger in the room, right? Because he's smart, he's well dressed, but you can't even tell that this is the person that if I were to compete with, you can't pick him out that he's the smartest in the room. But he fits the bill, he's got the looks, the job dressing part. And then as you continue to work or interact with all your colleagues, and time goes on and you realize, hey, onipa is smart, papa, na onye no kakrampo sa no. So that's how, for me personally, I can differentiate.
Those who don't talk too much.
It's not that they don't talk too much, but I don't know how to explain. Sometimes too, it's like a feeling that me personally I can get about someone, right?
Kind of aura around the confident one.
Yeah, it's like if as a woman, like you walk into a room and you sense that men are scanning you, right? I can just get a feel of the one who's like, oh,
scan guys.
Mommy. Yeah.
Do women also scan guys?
Yeah, of course. Me, I scan who.
Oh my. Wow.
Let me add on to what she said. So like Sister Evelyn is saying, when you're communicating with somebody who's cocky, they start telling you the accomplishment. They talk about what they have and stuff, and but somebody who is not cocky, they just talk. So it's for you to find out. Then they tell you. Yeah, so they would tell you I have done this, blah blah blah. But somebody who is genuinely, they don't really talk. They just Sister Evelyn is saying, you can tell, but yet still they broadcasted like I have done it, but it's for you to find it out yourself. Or like intellectually, like she's saying, when you are communicating, there are some stuff that they will say that you pick up, right? So yeah.
Thank you. Sammy says, I think this topic is very important. So Sammy, get ready to talk. I remember I went somewhere with friends and people were finding it difficult to draw closer to me, not knowing they saw me as the richest among them. Meanwhile, I had nothing on me that day. Also, I remember there was a wedding at my church, and I put on one of my dinner suits. As soon as I entered the church, out of my auntie's car, people on the compound were all pointing at me, saying this is the groom. Meanwhile, I was only the organist because I looked good. Yeah, it's true. When you dress well, you draw all kinds of attention. Sometimes when you smell good, and maybe you are just in casuals and yet you smell good. Many people tend to think dressing nicely is synonymous to wealth. And I'm about life, sister, life. Everybody says she has money. Is that really the case? Christians, it's one of the things. I say about life. Auntie Joyce be a minimum. Auntie Elizabeth be a minimum. Polish. And when they appear, the old thing that they've had some 5-10 years ago, you might think it's a new thing, something which is in vogue. Sammy, are you here?
Oh, how about you?
Samina Diomba, oh no, Yabo mpede Sami on Chibia, Sami Benya Quant no waba join. So beauty, yes, they say it is fleeting, but it opens doors. When you put up well, sometimes one of the things I am worried about is when I see a gentleman who's, especially a man, who has not ironed their dress or their shirt or their something. I am privileged to have gone to one fine school, the nicest, the best school in Ghana.
Yeah, disco people. Why?
Yeah. See, in that school, you are taught to iron your things. Are you Daisy? And I'm about. So you can be punished. I have not seen a boys. I've not seen a boys' school. You will be punished for dressing. We call it Rasta. Especially
not a single one.
You will be punished. I have not seen a boys' school photographer for chain. I'm telling you, at this school, every photographer post, their center is at this other college. Every meaningful photographer. One Monday, I remember I was going to the dining hall and the school prefect met me. I was in a hurry and I was folding my shirt Monday evening, going for supper. I was folding my white shirt. He stopped me here. Course, stand here. I was in Form 4. Stand there. At that time, Form 4, a fresh senior. Stand there. Dress properly before you enter the dining hall. You say, the Adisco boy, no, I share shoe black. No, I share brown belt.
How? But I see that here, and it really grinds my gears.
Oh.
And by the way, to what you were saying, the photographers, when they come, they don't, sometimes they'll just take a picture of you, right? You don't even have to ask them, and they'll develop it and be like, hey, here's a picture. I took it, and you see that, Charlie, you look good, and you collect.
Look good and you pay.
And you pay.
Ahosiesie is important. Christopher. Sammy has taught in this other college before, and this is what he says. The ironing is compulsory in a disco. When I catch you, you just walk on the 88 stairs for 20 minutes non-stop. So he was a teacher. 1, 2, 3, you be punished. And it's part of the groom. It's important. I intentionally want to talk about this to Christians because sometimes we trivialize it, but it opens doors. Cleanliness opens doors. Daisy, we need to catch one at this boy for you. Yes.
Amen. Amen.
Cleanliness opens doors, but we are very loud too. We are very, very loud too. So if you can handle our noise.
But
for the ironing.
No, a package into the
Now, Father Pacho, may I ask a question?
Yes, my dear.
The way you describe people, well, the culture of this school.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, yeah, your course like, how can I not think it's cockiness?
Well, at this school is a government school, just that it's an Anglican
school. Ma, and missionary presby school, is it?
No, Anglican, but yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's government.
Okay, let me take this one. Let me take this one. Okay.
Okay.
Evelyn.
Yes, sir.
When at this school, right, it's kind of like nationalism. Like you're very proud of the country you're born in, and it's that when we at this school we learn that is where we transition from boyhood into manhood or into young adulthood, and when we're there, some of us went there when we were really, really young, but then we pick up a lot of skills that in that time we don't really appreciate. But then when we go out into the world, you see the difference that there's a certain level of maturity, a certain level of, independence, autonomy, and confidence that we kind of exude. So when we come out, we're really, really proud and we have this sense of brotherhood. So it's the sense of brotherhood and camaraderie that people see and they think that it's cockiness, but it's really, I wouldn't say it's cockiness. It's just a pride in our identity as a disco boys and nothing more.
Yeah, and you will be taught life. Let me talk about the fashion part. The fashion part is engraved. It is engraved in the very living of the boys. So during our time, I don't know what they call them during Anado's time. We had people who are called CBOs, who they assisted the dining hall prefect in ensuring order in the dining hall. And they were supposed to be people who dressed well. They're supposed to be people who are grooming themselves to be future prefects.
Dignified, basically.
Yes, very, very dignified. And even the way they walk. You choose a certain CBO and it doesn't work well, they will laugh at the dining hall prefect because then they will say he has gone to take bribe. So people come to the school, see these things, and prepare themselves for that. I am talking about ahosiesie, ahofama opens doors. It opens doors for men and for women. I have gone to speak in a place. I've gone to speak in a place where, well, I thought I was dressing down, and I went mefere. I've gone to speak in a place. The message was good, but because of how I dressed, because it did not meet the standard there, people did not take it seriously. But the next time I was invited and I dressed well, you'll be surprised people did not even recognize me as the guy who came the other time. Ahunidie is important. It's like branding. I was saying yes. I just told you in the Bible. I want somebody to go with me to the book of Ruth. Ruth chapter 3 from verse 1 to 4. It means yes, ma'am.
Ebe reading maka ka ho there. Emi ihe yesu so ye fie no. Wo kire hen mesi wo sesie ho. Nantu mpo wo kire. Emi me busu me pena wo kire nantu wa me hu nantu because me nantu fast. Me bia ye fast. See, I mean, me cousin be Susan Edwama kwa Nguchi. I mean, on the pay yes, suma. Him the end to the same. Into watch I ain't chain a year when what's the one jahing because yes, we are not to anya. About the book paying for water or dead to pop or there should be automatically say you're dressing for you don't instead I'm picking your man, but every year they are pick colors to match. It becomes part of you.
Yeah.
I think that's more of a tribal thing because I was trained like that. So, yeah, like they tell you when you go in, make sure your dress are iron. When you sit like a lady. Like things that you do. Yeah, you have to be aware of yourself and how you sit in, how you walk in, how you talk. So yeah, I think it's more of a tribal thing.
But you see, very engraved in our traditional culture. In those days, our puberty rites, those initiation rites, they taught how to do all these things.
How to take care of
Yeah. Unfortunately, today's Christian, and I'm deliberately going this route. It is important. We've been talking about prayer, we've been teaching about all that. But when you prepare yourself, how you carry yourself can give you a seat, can give you a certain seat. There's somebody, let me mention her name, Daisy. At a point, I lost myself, and I told myself, "May dress a crack on him." And Daisy put me on the line. I remember Daisy would say, "Father, program will be Kobiana. I mean, you be a meko. Father, patch men for chaluti be a and she knew what she meant. I remember one day I went to speak somewhere. When I finished, Daisy was not there. But somebody, I don't know whether she has put spice on me. She said, Father, today you look good. And it felt good. And he says, do you know what the people say about it? Your dressing they said how you dress direct how people address you.
Yeah.
How you put
very
up.
True. Very, very true.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I have experienced it several times. Very true. Even just this Monday, I went through one.
Oh, you went through one?
Just this Monday. Yep.
Oh, yeah. How you dress will determine how you are addressed. I always tell people, my main kind of brofo, you become tasty. It is important. And it opens doors. When you dress well, it doesn't mean you are proud. In fact, when you are shabby, it doesn't mean you are humble. And I'm a boy.
Yeah.
Vulture.
Wretched. We have somebody who we call wretched. I want us to look at the story of Ruth. See, the Esther story. A woman did not bring her beauty, so she was sacked. Many people have been sacked because they hide their beauty. They don't enhance their beauty. Somebody say, it is God who has, and very soon I'll be talking about whatever you call enhancement or whatever. I'll be talking about it very soon. Here, right now. I'll be talking about it. Those who go and I don't know when your eyebrow, what do you do with it? It is a sin. You trim your eyebrow. Now, trimming me beard, have I sinned?
No.
We'll come back to that soon. I'm not talking about being extravagant. I'm talking about being presentable and being gorgeous. Christians, Ruth chapter 3. Can somebody read for us?
Ruth chapter 3.
From verse 1 to 4.
Ruth chapter 3, verse 1 to 4. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, My daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? And now is not Boaz of our kindred, with whose maidens thou wast? Behold, he winnoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor. Wash thyself therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor. But make not thyself known unto the man, until he shall have done eating and drinking. And it shall be, when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie, and thou shalt go in, and uncover his feet, and lay thee down, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. Amen.
Strategic
positioning.
Naomi was teaching strategic proposal. But look at the very core of this statement. The very core of this statement is dressing, smell, how you look, how you present yourself. Now I want to talk about present yourself. See, Naomi is talking about one of the richest guy at the time. How do you make a rich guy fall for you? 101. Naomi Nedebaye. It's in Ruth chapter 3. Smell is important. That's why I like Mr. Mills. Mr. Mills, can I say you are a perfumer? It makes sense. Yeah. And it is important. At some point, I didn't use, because of my nose, I used to have terrible sinusitis. So I didn't like smells. But after a while, I realized that there are degrees of smells. And I could, then I started taking them. I started trying them on. And I started getting marks. It's important. At the core of this, Ruth was humble. Ruth learned. The other part of this strategy was don't be loud. Don't be seen. Some people dress up so chinchiring. I was looking for the brofo for chinchiring. When you hear brofo, the mommy. That
Extravagance.
Extra.
That resplendent.
Resplendent. Anamewa.
Yes.
Brofo, what you bra?
Oh, like
some people dress so loudly. Sometimes we walk so loudly. Grace. Choose when to be seen. Choose when to be found. I told someone last week, I dressed, I wore black, something black. And someone asked me, Father, are you going for a funeral? I said, no. But you are wearing black. I said, take a close look at me. I said, oh, there's this thing here, there's that thing here. Sometimes you can put 1 and 2. Nyaman kiti beba keka boma. Eyi tam no obey a celebration tam. I went to sew a certain agbada and I told them, I want black. It's not for funeral. I want you to add gold to it. When it came out, the tailor said, Father, Tariana, I fed the meji biaka. And I'm saying, Masa, okura wo de meka. Because I've given you ideas. Sometimes you need to be deliberate. Christians, we need to be deliberate. We go into a space. I'm told that when I dress in suit, I look fine, but I don't feel so good in it. So I rather look for what I feel confident in, and then I present myself well. And Pabuana wakoshene esumao. Emiya dodo. Into one of my one eye take a close watch Thomas. Somebody say, hey, also for no orchard life way. It is important, Christians. Christian men go to church, go to work. They see young ladies at their office. Girl na bo life be. Ne ho smell no scent be. Oba saw down no be she saw down ho girls no. Obi da kan na sem ntutu scent be any. Am I talking yamsem? It opened the door. A certain lady is praying in church. God, I need husband. Oh, God, I need husband. Oh,
Deeper life and nasty.
I am not saying let's do it chinchini. Naomi told Ruth, don't let him see you. You choose when he should see you. Verse 3, wash yourself, put on perfume, get dressed in your best clothing, then go down to the threshing floor. But don't let him know you are there until he has finished eating and is drinking. Choose when to be seen. Is this watching?
I wanted to ask a question, like comments now making about how Daisy, I would say, empowered you to sort of walk in your essence. How do we even get to that point where we feel safe or comfortable to give either friends or our like people you care about that sort of encouragement?
Trust.
But your sometimes say, okay, so I don't know you as well as Daisy knows you. So let's say, for example, but I still see, say, like me pewasem, I respect you as a person. What approach or advice would you give someone who sees somebody else from far and out of their care, and being a Christian, you want to, in a loving way, sort of point it out to them or encourage them to do better?
Yeah, it depends on the relationship. Every relationship will determine how you would approach it. But what would be your response? What would you say here?
It depends on the relationship, yeah, and then how the person will take it, right? You should know the person well. He wouldn't take it well, but for the envy, you should know the person too, right? And then find a way to talk about it. Or sometimes it's not done.
Okay. Any other, please? How can I tell somebody, me, if you are close to me and you are able to tap me and tell me with love? Me, my only condition is with love. It will help me. I think it will help me. But I believe that before you get to that, you need to create a rapport with the person. You need to create a congenial atmosphere.
Okay, Father Patrick, can I rephrase my question?
Okay.
So sometimes I find it difficult not to say something if I know Seba Boni Pana, right? So this is what I did one time. I was working at Costco and it was I think a Sunday. And see, after church, people are coming and shopping. And at the end of my shift, as I was leaving the store, I saw a beautiful family, husband, wife, and 2 kids. Lady wearing a very nice dress. And based on what they purchased was like flowers and one of those tray gift things. It looked like maybe they were going somewhere. But the lady's dress was completely see-through. And I ran to my car when my husband was picking me up and I was like, this lady just walked through the entire, like, you know, as I was behind her. I could tell other people were looking. I really want to go and see something to her, but I don't want to come off weird. But I felt so uncomfortable saying kashi, right? Of course, Mikun was like, to me, my no business. I was like, look at them. Lady, I think that the family is going somewhere. So I went and I said something like, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm feeling convicted or something like that to say something to you, but I apologize if it comes off the wrong way. Your dress is a bit see-through. I was like almost shaking as I was talking. And she looked at me, she said, thank you. And I was like, I'm sorry, I just had to say something. And she was like, yeah, I appreciate it. And then I walked away fast, like I almost like run
away.
And yeah, but the thing that helped me, well, one, they were a white family, so I didn't really feel that scared. I was like, me who be like, I don't know if I'm gonna meet her somewhere, but it felt comfortable saying, oh yeah, outsider and not maybe someone in a circle I've seen before. But it felt so good that I was able to me, like help. And obviously I did it privately, right? Not in front of other people. And I wondered to myself, say, I hope someone someday, if something like that, it's an oversight, someone will care now, and just to approach and let me know. But I also understand it depends who it's coming from, right? So like, for instance, I think I said before on this line, say, I don't know Ma Joyce, but from what she says and how she speaks, I garner some wisdom from what she says, right? And so Onipa Sanafan be a minute sorry, she doesn't really know me, but she comes and says, gives me a feedback as a young person.
Yeah.
I would happily receive it. And I'm sure we've all come across something about somebody. But it's all how you approach it. And I truly believe, say, the person will most likely be able to receive it how you mean it. But concern, I say, it's like, okay, like me who adiwe will you pay him that I am koyinti. Let me just let him or her know, say, you know all that you think you are.
Yeah. That's what I said earlier. You create a congenial atmosphere. You build rapport. It could be just a second where you started from. Even if she would be rude, at least you gave a platform where it would not be, you will not give her the opportunity to be too rude. So you create a congenial atmosphere. Yeah. But after a while, I'm sure if she could come back, she'll be looking out for you when she feels she benefited from your goodness. She could come back from you for you to she benefited from your goodness. Yeah. So, like I was saying, it is very important. It's very important to enhance the beauty God has given us. We need to enhance, polish what God has given to us. But I want to ask your opinion of this body enhancement thing. What do you think? So we are talking about beauty. You can polish beauty. And I'm you do hair extension, you do nail extension, you do that
eyeliner.
Eyelining.
Eyelashes.
Or brow. Some of you, sometimes you clear all your eyebrow and you use pencil to redraw it. And
Father, how do you know it is all cleared?
well, sometimes when you look at them, you see the paint is more than the hair. And sometimes you see that. Yeah. So the question I ask is this. So when we do all of that, is it a sin for somebody to enhance her butt? So you go and do nail extension. You go and do the whatever extension. But when somebody goes to do her butt, we say it's a sin. Is it a sin?
Nah, they see it as a cheat sheet. Yeah, they are cheating.
Oh, they are cheating by putting things in their skin. But
yeah,
they're not cheating when you put them on the skin. Is that what they mean?
Pretty much, yes.
Sammy, your hand is up.
I think I'll be here clear. I mean, is it okay now?
Now you are very clear.
Yeah, good.
Oh, good. Rev, it is never a sin.
Hey,
maybe I was saying this and I don't like it. Maybe I'm a female. I don't like it. Maybe I would like to enhance my butt. If I'll use only if it doesn't have any implication, bad effect on the person. And he feels good or she feels good. That's all. You have, enhance your nails, and I'm enhancing my butt. What's wrong with it? So far as it's not a sin, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't give me any health issues. I think I'm better to go. So it's not a sin to me.
Hey, what do you say? We are talking about beauty can be enhanced. Esther used 6 months to do perfume, makeup, polish, 6 months to do walking and all those things. Naomi told her daughter Ruth, polish, do perfume, you are enhancing your smell. Now, the other one, what do you say? Sammy says no.
I'm of the opinion that resorting to invasive surgery to enhance your beauty is a bit much.
A little over.
Men, especially young men, also do the enhancement.
Can
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So men do a lot of enhancement too, but they do it in a natural way. They go to the gym, they exercise to keep their physique. And I think women can also do the thing. However, I think there's this misconception among a lot of, especially Black women, that men love these kinds of surgically enhanced bodies, which honestly, from the general survey that they've done, a lot of men say no, they actually like natural women. But there's this idea that no, even though men say they like natural bodies, they still have this affinity or interest in women with these enhanced BBL bodies as well. So I think I think it's a bit much. We shouldn't encourage people to go under the knife to enhance their butts or to suction fat off of certain areas. I think it's too much. Yeah.
For what do you say?
I agree with.
Yes, Daisy.
I agree with Brother Leslie. I do agree with him because said, Father McCoy me nails I can remove it anytime, any day. But me koye sebi me chia me butter. I cannot do anything about it. It can never come to its original state. That's it for me. Number two, there are most women who have done this thing and what enhancement and body enhancement and all the enhancements. And at the end of the day, some of them cannot even sit straight. Or also
yes, are unbalanced.
Yes, are unbalanced. A lot of them are going through pain, severe pains, but they cannot tell you. But because they are in the limelight, you know, they're on TV, they need to look good, they need to dress good. But to look good and suffer for the rest of your life, I think
it's too far.
Yes, to put it that way, because obi na ka na se bi ma mesre was me di agu yafunu mu me ko heaven onyame musam se me bada na ofu ayekese. So what else? You just have to watch the way you eat. If you will exercise. But to go under the knife only for you to come out looking miserable. Inwardly, you are miserable. But on the outside, people will be like, oh, you're all looking good. And I think so recently, I was just saying to myself, how come all the celebrities are looking the same? Like their shape, their body shape. It's kind of like looking the same. There is no uniqueness. Me, myself, I believe so much in you being unique. That's me. I don't want to be like anybody. I don't want to look like anybody. I don't want to act like anybody. But it looks like all these people that have become other people's role models are kind of like looking the same. They don't even know who they are anymore. It's like they're being influenced by all these things and it's not helping them. It's not helping them. And it's not even helping the next generation either. And so mid-year or bad year, said your body needs to be an and sa babo corset boom down to me more corset jebumsa na kobe nem flamanfa ho.
The enhanced. Yeah. Any other? Sammy, your hand is up.
Rev, I'm back again.
Yeah.
We are looking at, sorry to say, I think we are the explanation is really diverting the topic. It's about enhancement and either being a sin or not. Body enhancement, to me, is not a sin. It's never a sin. But you know, the way people see others or how people have the perception people have for others might see them that they are sinful. I mean, they are sinners and they do things in the wrong way or others. Minimum people Rev, now your sister be say, even the courses where you are deceiving us. It's a total cheat. But because you have enhanced your body with an artificial thing, you do go fear na jam you do a dining table, you function in the good dining table. So I think that we have natural remedies that you can use to enhance your body. Enhance your body, your nails, your body itself. I mean, the flesh itself. I don't think it's a sin. You can go with natural remedies. See that you are in shape. You are doing the right thing, you know. So that can also help. And yes, Anna, how did you cross the Mr. You can use natural remedies going for gym and stuff. Me quite gym and I'm a new football. I'm a man. So I don't go to gym. When I start doing press up, many football bosses here, I won't say my here.
Yeah.
So there are certain things that I do in other way to keep my body. If you're being the end of the course of the car, do how parts no cholesterol no man parts no. So if you no, you're okay. So I think that health wise, no, if you do it and you have no problem, I don't have any problem with it. Now you look good.
Okay. I have a.
So before Leslie comes in, Stella's hand is up. Can we hear from Stella and then Leslie? Well, Stella is rather coming in. Leslie, please go ahead.
Okay. I disagree, and I don't think it's a diversion of the topic. maybe sin is an extreme because there are even different levels. There's transgression, there's sin, and there's unrighteousness, right? So we're talking about in this case, it's about the rightness of it, right? Not necessarily an extreme or like evil, sin, transgression, like unrighteousness, basically. In a sense, I think it depends on the situation. So, for example, let's say you're an African, you are born an African, but you have such a deep-seated insecurity in your complexion, so you decide to bleach yourself to look more Caucasian. In that sense, basically what you're saying is this: the potter did not make you well.
Well,
the potter did not make you well. And it is a deep sense of self-hatred. And self-hatred is basically saying that, well, I don't think I'm in the image of the person who created me, because we are all a reflection of who God is. And this doesn't just extend to beauty. There are actually people who cut off their limbs because they feel like they don't belong on their body. We call them transableism, or the transable. Some others also even go further to say they feel like they are of a different species. So what they do is they disfigure themselves extremely to look less human, right? All these things are forms of body modification. It's just different degrees. So in a sense, I would say that it depends. Again, it depends on the situation, but extreme body modification is, I think is wrong. Basically, it's a sin, in my opinion, because you are basically spiting, saying that he didn't make you well.
Okay.
Say bleaching no cry quite a cocoa to the brave body. Excuse my language. That's a coach him. Why okay. Being said, I just say, brother, just I can't think madness, I can't think far. You see, Rebecca say, oh, brony timody, but only a man so naifa. You see, we are insulting Obroni timody, Obroni, and so near man.
It is the slave's mentality.
Exactly.
A slave's mentality.
Father, Abrofui, how many of them kukuru wegeshe? How many of them saying almost share? But and Leslie, I understand you, but before Yayamana you too much.
That's what that one there.
Now obit me to $1,000, $2,000.
And we pride.
And we're so excited, we're so happy, and oh yeah. I mean, amen.
Oh, I like you. Auntie Joyce.
Before
you come in, Auntie Joyce is on. Please let Auntie Joyce.
Yeah. I mean, say, when you are doing all this, your backside and your breast and everything, think of old age.
Okay.
Think of your old age. And now when an Obama or no work it's a friend then. What's pump? Probably you need to maintain it, right? Or probably other medication be nazo. So think of old age.
Wow.
Areas that Jenny Shakan.
Wow.
They are no barbary wa. Mohu by ya corner what asham, and Namu by yam asham. Probably you wouldn't know how the skin wouldn't look like when you are 90 or 80.
Yeah.
How are you gonna look like? So that think of old age when you are doing all these things. Amen.
Sammy, your hand was up.
Oh, Rev. Buying a wig of $2,000, $5,000 is never wrong. It depends on the nature and whatever you are using it for. I have a colleague who so you shouldn't cause cutting issues in this discussion to make it that buying something expensive too is very wrong. We need to be very, very instrumental in our point and our discussion here, so that we can draw the line very well. See, looking good is expensive. That's one. We should admit that, because maybe nails, no. Maybe to me nails, because it's very expensive. The brand there is very expensive, so I need to look at my level and go with it. That's one. Also, we should know that body enhancement, Auntie Joyce talking about old age. All these are factored into what you really want, what you really want to be. Makeup, we makeup alone. When we be makeup and quite saying him. The name be to the same makeup na. So, when you name shower, men can get say me was singing man be o. When you name shower, Rev, what done with the shower wall? Because why makeup from a bring mom and the master? Baby I brown, baby I black, baby I yellow. You can't even predict here. You see, every aspect of enhancement has an effect. If we are concentrating on all of them, you get to say, people to me, I can say, be makeup cancer. So it will even put you off for you to do it. But look at your level. Look at your health wise. Does it affect you? Is it going to have very good effect on you? In the end, what is the measure? What are you going to do? So that we can draw a very thin line in between having an enhancement, having a makeup, having this, what are the effects as well? But when you draw the conclusion, say, oh, because they are way expensive, way you say, and yeah, more life. But that's it.
Wow. I like the way it's going. Yes, anyone?
Let me kind be like same base there football home cry, man, boy, yanko be anything we nyale to. It's no, about no by your boss share week than answer, right? But we should do it in moderation. We must know moderation. In moderation, it make you look presentable, right? But all too much is trying to be different na be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Today
to wear a wig. Sometimes I do wear it. It's not a sin. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is say, yes, say sika sabi woniema biya. And when shedding here bebre, that's what I'm trying to say. You can buy expensive stuff. You can decide to obi wa okra sabi o hide dan. Yembra Ghana. Obi wa ha obabi wa o hide dan. But otimi koton wig akesiye, ontimi onto asase mpo, ondwene ho kra so obeto asase no de sa wig ni sika na sidan. Na ho ban for so man no de bi rent ya wanya bi de akoto sade. That's what I'm trying to say. So inti shewo level. So what you say?
Yeah.
Oh, Papa, the mamenka saying. I understand, but that's what I'm trying to say. We are all learning, right? Nti the person make can say, Bible no crack, ye wadi nyina ho kwan, nso nye ne nyina na efataye. Nti na wasan bu say rade say ne de na emfataye ne de na efataye. E na meje si.
I like what Mr. Mills just put up. Opulence is a vice. Show off, say, mi wo binti meye bone. Now, the reality of the question I put up, it was an intentional thing. See, even me nyimiti, even I will not wear wig, can be a sin. It is the intention. What is the intention? See, God looks on the heart. And you know, the reason for this discussion was a Christopher, we need to be presentable, but we should also have the right intent, because whatever we do, there are consequences to them. Life no I was sayable, but intention no ne dear. God looks on the heart. So sometimes it is dangerous. It is dangerous to look at two people and use the same measure for them. But we will need to look critically at what we do. The friend is saying, the royal family of England. But do you know that they don't wear any makeup, any nail polish color, apart from the nude or transparent, because of their status. They cannot do extreme makeup. They cannot wear some, by virtue of who you are. I was here about life. I was here neat. One of the people who I like so much when it comes to glamour is the wife of the vice president of Ghana, Samira Baumia. She's not naked, but she's so gorgeous. Or yeah, makeup, but she looks so beautiful. My issue is that I was see a ball life. Now I intentionally pushed it towards the very extreme. Life review awa ebejawa mane. I told one of my sons, one of my Christian sons, Obabro, he wanted to pierce his ear. I said, from my background as somebody who knows a little bit of history, a little bit of culture, a little bit of anthropology, a little bit of religion, as Madiana will question me no any problem. But the
iPhone, no, iPhone.
iPhone. Andres, can you call him? Maybe only one. Daddy K yanto kasayo. Okay, I'm gonna try.
I think it's connecting to audio. I mean, he's joining, so.
Yeah, but it looks like he's on. He's speaking, but I can't tell.
Pacho, my friend, or back on.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Kenneth Costa is joining.
okay, thank you. Forgive me, I didn't know my line was off. I don't know where I left off, but I'm talking about when we are going extreme, we should watch. It's important that I will see about life. It is very important. It is very, very important that we dress nicely, that we dress very, 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 very beautifully. But in our dressing very nicely, we need to watch. Are we going? As for these Christians here, they are too this kind of Christian, deeper life Christians, you know. Sa adwene no kura no eyi nyame tan kura. Or somebody says when you go and do makeup, you won't go to heaven. Is it true?
Nabita.
The intention. Sometimes when you eating kura to me yabone, even eating can be sin. So we need to look at it closely. I was here about life, but the enhancement, you know, see, almost all of them, the macho now, bodybuilding to make your body very careful. You know, what is the intention? When we were young Christian people, and when I had a lot of hair, I liked to do dreadlocks, but I never got the opportunity to do it, or to put line in my head, your friend our boy. At the time, if you do a boy, it's a sin. At that time, if you do a boy, it's a sin. Hello?
Hey. Dama.
Oh yeah, at that time, SU Christian time. Hey, who call a boy? So you see, different generation. See, that's why I'm saying the intention. Later on in life, those days when you wear mini skirts, your parents will fight you. I remember my mother fight my big sister, so I want to find her some of her old pictures. The mini skirt my mother was wearing. You say, hey. So it is the intention and the consequence. The intention and the consequence. It is very crucial. The intention and the consequence of what we are trying to do is crucial. Even though the Bible talks against writing on the skin, some people find a reason. I mean, the Levitical law, you cannot write on your skin. You cannot wear women's dress. Men, you cannot wear women's dress and all that, blah, blah, blah. I tell people, I don't have a problem with doing tattoo. My problem is that, would you be proud of it 15 years down the line? Would you? Life for everybody, the intention is important. And the end consequence. The end consequence. I have seen a young boy who by all means should wear a certain brand of shoes. So when he went to the store, he didn't get a size and he bought a bigger size. Now, so the shoes now look like Chalawate. Obi a wash a shoe. The Chalawate.
Madness.
The intention and the consequence. He wanna flex. The intention and the consequence. Remember, I asked you a question. So, do you really dress for yourself? It is the intention. Do you know that there are some people who don't care what people think about what they do? But they don't know that what you do, whatever you do, has an effect on someone. In our relationships, it is important that we look at these things. We are on Sakatua. When you make Sakatu, and the bro food and saying, what is the bro food for Sakatu? When you make yourself wretched, and let me add this other one, I don't know, it's a Rev.Fr. When you make yourself wretched and plenty, it doesn't make you a Christian or holy. No. let's dress, let's put out the best. Nanado said, put your best foot forward. Let's put our best foot forward. It is important. But then we should mind the intention and the consequences that come with it. Because whatever we do with our body, God will judge us. Every sin has a consequential response or result to it. A baby will say, if you want to wire the sakatuno, a baby will say, I want to be simple. Yes, it's good to be very simple. It's good to be very modest. But it's also good to look good. It opens doors. Modesty and rightness is the most important thing. Ubia bleaches are days in a car. I say quiet to even men, even men. Some of which men, yeah, bleach. Some people, my bleach ya ma be beaten in our hope. Now you cool down.
Munto cream, Papa. So,
Munto cream, Papa. Any scent to be a num. In our relationship, our concept, our dressing, the niceness of our dressing here, it's important. But let's look at the consequences with which we pursue these things. That will come with what we do. The intention, God is watching. God bless you, people. God bless you so very much. Any other question or any other contribution before we close? Hello? Comfort, another man too on Kakra. Sammy? Yes, I'm listening.
Rev, it's here in the question is generation behind the body.
Yes.
Inti, there's a one view of her. Like, what do you think that you're doing to either please people or to please yourself? All has limitations, though. But
yes.
I'm very glad you are saying that. Think about the future. What will happen? Say the America say, we now So I think it's good for us to know our left and right, whatever we need to do, and set our priorities right too. Because what might be good for you might not be good for other people. So we shouldn't concentrate our mind for people and think that they are evil when it comes to body enhancement. Thank you.
Yeah. Sometimes you can advise people.
Oh yes, sure.
Sometimes yes, ma. Auntie Joy.
Leslie, what?
You know, also Abenyuma.
Oh, grandma, and you may rub artificially.
Oh, German, you know.
Oh, God.
What did they in our son and in artificial?
You see, these things that is going on, and then about you. I was telling somebody that, do you know that it got to a point, people did not even see your natural hair. They wear wig. In the Elizabethan age, Afro went with wig. And I'm a boy. It's in a fair hair, but name of the issue is the consequence. See, there are so many things that are so temporary that we emphasize on that does not bring any help. Mimi say, I read an assistant on the natural hair. I know keeping natural hair is difficult. I know. But hey, wig no so de nyame ya adoma obone mesa o pagya ya no na de kro no kon ba bi kra. Yeah, but yeah, maybe say I like dreadlocks, I like Davy, but all my hair is gone, so I've resorted to Sakura man. Evelyn.
Yeah, Father, this just reminds me, say, in the Orthodox Jew belief, say, Obawo warrior, you cannot show your own hair. They have to wear a wig.
Yeah.
Is that also to preserve, to be modest?
So it's part of that culture. It was part of that culture. In the Akan culture, duku, the very moment you attain a certain age, you don't go out with your natural hair or with your hair. Katautiso. So it is not just Christian, it is also Akan. Among the Akans, if you don't put on duku, if you don't wear that headgear, you have to cut your hair. And it is just like the Jews. So different cultures have different whatever, so that they preserve something. In fact, even among the Ashantis, different styles of hair gear communicated your status in life. Single people had their own, married people had their own, widows had their own. So
I never knew until there was a church program and somebody obi boss duku nibi. Na me so for say, hey, when I wash you duku abet somebody say. I was so surprised.
Yeah. Ahima will duku awobo. Community people had duku. So we had all of this in our community. It's part of the culture. And let's look at some people like the Sikh. India, their hair is considered holy. They are preserving a holy element. Yeah. So different communities had different things, but in all of that, what is the intention? It is important to preserve yourself. When I came here, I have not seen this. In London, the way the young men would do their hair, the Sikh, even their beard. My God. Some of them do it so fine. I remember we did a program called Immersion. You will be immersed into another religion and another culture. And there was a day where they allowed them to put their hair. And the way they carried their hair, my. You could see a man whose hair could go as low as their feet. And they adorned it. The most important thing is that what is the intention? What consequences does it come with? One day I decided to go and do this. Those days, waves, the curls, the hair thing. Ready? They use is it peppermint cream or jerry cream? For like 1 week, I cannot even touch it. I said, me, never again. So the intention and the consequences that it comes with. It is important we enhance, we look fine, but at which cost? At which consequential cost? Yes. We need to go back to our cultural norms through the church's teachings. Yes. Maybe one of these days we'll talk about even etam, a friend, and Cabanisriti. We can talk about it. It was not always slate. It was not always slate. Slate, it has been slate. So what did they originally have? No what time. Later on, we talk about it. God bless you. I pray that this evening was a blessing. I hope it was a blessing. Whatever we do, it's important that we enhance. It's important that the beauty God has given us, we enhance it to His glory. But we should be mindful of consequences when we are going too overboard. May God bless you. May God show his face to shine upon you. May our actions bring blessing to God. And may we reflect the best of ourselves that God wants us to be. May we come out very beautiful, very nice, very glorious and glamorous. But most importantly, may we show forth the glory of the Lord to praise his name. Amen.
Amen.
Have a good evening.